the record for conference wins in a season.
Held by the Cal Maritime Q holders.
I knew you would know that. So we are nearly ready to go. Waiting on just the opening. Tippy Caldwell, David Allegra, Derek Aganyes are the officials. As Caldwell will throw it up, it'll be Holden and Obiura to jump, and Obiura wins the tip, and we are underway. Merced in their blue uniforms, white shoulders, with some white trim around the pants. Pioneers in those white uniforms with red numbers, blue striping down the inside is Dirt. Dribble drive, kicks it back out. They get it inside. Obiura under the basket, dumps it off. Good vision inside, landing right into the hand of Adenchiku, and he lays it home.
We saw that patience from UC Merced that they exhibit usually offensively right there on the first possession. Went forward to forward on that one.
Pioneers in their first half-court set of the ball game. Kyle, who was red hot last game, had it, dumped it off to Rousseau. Drives, kicks, Holden, extra pass. Kyle, three-pointer, and he got it.
Picking up where he left off.
Right where he left off. Had 5 threes in the semifinals, and he knocks down his first shot of the day. So each team with a good first possession, each with a really good look. It's Durr with the basketball to run the point. Haywood now guarded by Holden out high. Adenchiku onto the near side to Durr. They want to work it back to Adenchiku into the paint. He's run into from behind by Mass, so it's a foul on the floor.
Kyle's the one wrinkle that they could throw at them here, UAV. He was the sort of the different look in Saturday's game, seeing him play like that. A guy who finished in single digits in points first the 2 times they met this year.
Yeah, had a red hot game on Saturday and starts it off right where he left off. Obiura, three-pointer from Haywood, no. Rebound to Mast. Pioneers get their first stop of the game. Here's Johnson with the basketball to run the point. They'll skip it onto the near side corner to Kyle. Now Holden, who has the ability to penetrate if he wants it, but he'll get it back to Rousseau. Rousseau spins. Mass pass picked off. Good job by Haywood to get in the lane. He goes right to the basket, and he's blocked by Johnson. Great defensive play by Chris Johnson coming back.
Good recovery. A couple of former conference defensive player of the year going up against the current.
And that's why Chris Johnson, part of the reason why he was the conference defensive player of the year, that ability to come back and make plays. Yeah, we talk about the steals a lot, but he really can get up and defend near the rack. So he's guarding Cottrell here. Durr on the dribble will bring it to the near side. Adenchiku, extra pass into the corner to Cottrell. They work it to the block. Obiura trying to back down Kyle. Holden over to try and double. 8 to shoot here for Merced. Cottrell against Johnson. Durr, baseline jumper. No good. Kyle pulls down the rebound. Long possession for Merced. They come up empty for the 3rd time down the floor. Or on their 3rd time down the floor, I should say. Here's Rousseau. Into the corner. Kyle, three-pointer on the way. Does he have 2 in a row? No, but Holden gets the rebound. Kyle inside. Holden right into the paint. Back out to Mast. And UAV will set back up.
Second chance opportunities tend to fuel UAV.
Rousseau right to the basket, the bucket and the foul. And immediately Obiura went over to the official, David Allegra, and said, "What did I do?" And he said, "You pushed him."
Yeah, he was late to get over. He was a little late on the rebound, too.
And that's the danger of Rousseau.
Yeah.
He can spin the ball off the glass from just about anywhere inside the painted area and then draw the foul on top of it.
And it really all starts with stopping him, stopping the ball. Once he drives into the lane like that, it's almost too late. You know, at that point, you've had one breakdown that's going to lead to others.
As he goes to the free throw line and knocks it down, and as he should, one of the top free throw men in the country this year, as Rousseau's 13th in the nation in field goal percentage, as it's a 4-point lead here early on for UAV.
Full court man from the Pioneers.
Win into the game for the first time as Merced wants to go smaller here. We saw him put in some good minutes the other day against Maritime, excuse me. As here's Cottrell, drives into the paint, runs into Mast. He draws the foul and will go to the line. Second foul here on Mast early on, so I would imagine Jordan would have somebody up off the bench here soon.
Well, Mast doing what he does best there.
Yeah, we talked about it last game. That's his 101st foul this season. Wow. And he has now 291 career fouls in his time at UAV.
I like the take there from Cottrell.
And that's something we didn't see a lot of
Yeah.
against Maritime. Him driving to the basket. He was kind of quiet in that first half, just kind of had to feel the game out.
Yeah, Keel Haulers focused on him heavily. Kept him quiet in that first half, had a nice second half.
So he knocks down both free throws. So it's 6-4 UAV. Just a little over 3 minutes into the first half. You haven't missed much. Halftime score from the women's championship game in Prescott as Kyle dials up another three. Boy, is he red hot. Knocks down his second. He's 2 for 3 from 3 so far.
Hot hand right now. Gonna keep trying.
Going to say the women's score, UAV Embry-Riddle tied at 45 at halftime. That game is a high-flying game as Durr puts up a jumper from about the elbow. It didn't go. Here comes Rousseau, speeds ahead. Corner three for Mast. Yes, he did. And UAV red hot again from three here early.
And from not the sources you'd expect necessarily again.
There's a foul coming up the floor called against Chris Johnson. His first foul. We see Cobb get up off the bench for Merced here. And I think Kevin Pham opting for some more three-point shooting as UAV with a 12-4 lead here early on.
Yeah, down 8 early on. Going to need a little bit more offense out there.
As Rousseau nearly had that one stolen, you could see him mouth, oh. Just couldn't get to it. As here's Durr with the basketball. Guarded tightly by Rousseau in the front court. Picked up his dribble, got it to Cottrell, and Cottrell's fouled by Johnson. Johnson just a little bit too reachy there, gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and that's going to bring Ruben Gonzalez into the game.
Yeah, 2 quickies there on Johnson. Slapped the wrist of Cottrell that time.
4 fouls on UAV here early, and we talked about it pregame with this crew. We expect a lot of whistles.
We're going to call this game tight most likely, yes.
So here's Durr working against Gonzalez. Now Cobb wants to get it inside. Obiura. He's going to be able to draw a foul on Kyle for a cylinder violation.
Yeah, Kyle was trying to draw the offensive foul as he swung the elbow, but in too tight.
And that's exactly what Kane Kyle says as he looks at Dave Allegra and says, he threw the elbow at me. Still an 8-point lead. Good inbound to Obiura, goes up to the basket, contested by Mast, didn't get it to go, and Holden pulls down the board.
Almost a little too far under the bucket there, Obiura.
Holden wants to work inside. Instead, we'll throw it near side. Mast thought about it. Instead, they'll work it around to Rousseau. Plenty of time for UAV on the shot clock. Rousseau penetrates, left hand floater, no. Went high off the glass and just didn't get it.
Dodged a bullet there, did the Bobcats.
Here's Haywood working against Mast. Offensive foul called against Haywood, and he is uncomfortable down on the floor.
That's what
I was going to say. I think he's just more upset maybe with himself.
Could be. That's, you'd have to consult Tim Legler on that one. On if that was.
We unfortunately don't have him under contract.
Is that one? That's it. You know, and it's the toughest call in basketball, plain and simply. The block charge, as you know, Mast got in the way, but then Haywood sort of forced the issue with a little too much off arm and barreling down.
Second foul on Merced. Still that 8-point game, 12-4. Low scoring early on. UAV 4 of 6 from 3 so far. Austin into the game for the first time. Jumper from about 18, and he knocked it down.
Scoring from everywhere with this UAV team. That's what makes it so difficult, because even when the leading scorer, Rousseau, drives them to 70 in the 70s. He had no Rafael Durr in the first meeting. They were without Westlake in the second, so he likes that coming into it, having all of his parts to work with. Got to make sure they're all working together, though, dealing with this UAV offense.
So Merced with the basketball here as we come out of the timeout. As we wait for Haywood to get the basketball, and he'll bring it into play. Had Holden face guarding him, was able to throw it to Durr. Pioneers in a little man switch off here as Durr tries to penetrate. Gonzalez stayed right with him. Good shot from Durr. He just didn't get it to fall.
Wow. Took on 3 defenders, just rattled out.
Here's Kyle again, another three. Boy, is he red hot. Knocks down another one. That's already his third 3 of the game.
Confidence in the shooting ability for these Pioneers.
The Flying Kiwi leading the way with 9 so far for UAV. As it's now a 13-point advantage. A little over 4.5 gone here in the first half. Obiura wants to back down Austin. Goes up with the right hand. No. Good contest. And another defensive rebound for UAV. They throw it ahead. Austin on the catch. He just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, he was not. He was getting ready to come down court, set up in the half-court offense. Rousseau was trying to connect.
Well, and I think Rousseau sees Austin ahead of the play, knows that you've got a great jumper in Alex Austin and wanted to go a little showtime. And they just weren't ready on the communication. We've seen that play from them before. So a turnover for UAV. Second turnover of the game on the Pioneers. Here's Durr, will bring it up the floor. Rousseau stays right with him. Now Haywood guarded by Gonzalez. Here's Cobb, who gets his first touch of the game. Merced way on the outside right now. They can't seem to get towards the paint. They try and throw it down low, and that one goes off of Holden out of play. He had it. It was over the head of Adenshiku, and all Holden had to do was pick it up, and he actually swatted it out of bounds.
Yeah, sort of slapping at it to try to recover from where he was instead of chasing it down. You see Merced catches a break?
So here's Adenshiku on the catch on the inbound. Cottrell with 5, wants to penetrate, spins, tries to draw contact, didn't get the call. Rebound for Holden, UAV back the other way. Holden will run to an empty space, and an offensive foul called on Moskaitis in the paint as he and Adenshiku got tied up. And it's the 6th foul on UAV. So the next one will be shooting fouls for Merced, and we're not even halfway through the first half.
Yep, and this is something that's gotten to UAV a few times. They've managed to play above it. See if UC Merced can capitalize, if they can create a little foul trouble.
Not surprising, the Pioneers, the first-ranked team in the nation in fouls per game, which is not a good place to be ranked first. 21.9 fouls per game. As they get a steal, Austin able to take it away. He wants to run the floor. Euro step, goes to the rack with the right hand, is good.
Great defense from Moskaitis at the other end.
And UAV going to get a delay of game warning for the bench getting up. We've seen that before this year on UAV. As Derek Agnes is the one that makes the call. And then has some little extra for the bench. And I think he just already, Coach Mass was already upset with the bench anyway. I don't think he needed to add that extra to it. But
yeah, it did seem like he was, there was an I told you so moment from like a dad.
Not much matter, though. We go back to work. Andrew Williams with the basketball. Here's Cobb. Guarded by Holden. Wants to dribble inside. Instead, we'll get it to Botmani, who's into the game for the first time. Now Gonzalez. Westlake, good dribble. They get it into the corner. Durr, 3. No, was halfway down the cylinder and just rattled right out.
Boy, Durr's had 2 or 3 of those this evening. He just can't catch a break early on.
Now Holden wants to penetrate. Had it swatted out of his hand. Picks it right back up. Drops it for Gonzalez. Back to Holden. They wanted to get it inside to 18-point lead for UAV. We're not even halfway through the first half. Tim, they shooting lights out of the building right now.
Yeah, this is exactly what UC Merced did not want. For them to come in hot, their shots not falling. Really just having trouble catching a break right now.
Pioneers shooting a ridiculous 80% from the floor early on. And 83% from the floor, or from 3 so far. Compare that to Merced, who's 0 for 3 from downtown here early on. Here's Cobb, trying to get away from Moskaitis. We'll get it to Williams. Dumps it to Botmani, and he goes up with the right hand and gets it to go. Breaks a pretty big run for UAV.
Needed that, Merced. That dribble drive, that's going to be key for them.
It's a 16-0 run for the Pioneers. Austin with some great vision finds a cutting Moskaitis, and he just gets an easy lay-in.
Yeah, got lost track of there by the Merced defense. Botmani.
So here's Williams. It's Merced now just trying to inch their way back into it. Cobb drives against Cabrera. Step back jumper, good. Nice shot from Cobb.
Yeah. I like that aggressive take. Sometimes he's a guy that lingers around the perimeter. That time drove in.
Rousseau fouled way out high on the floor, so the bucket doesn't count. It'll be just the 3rd foul on Merced here early on. And we're going to see Obiura come back into the game to try and match up against some of the bigs for UAV with that Austin-Moskaitis combo. It's really a bunch of bigs on the floor for UAV and not many for Merced.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the guard play makes the bigs distracted. They're thinking about that and lose track of their own man.
So here's Gonzalez with the basketball. Guarded out high by Wynn. Now to Rousseau, who's only got 3 so far today, but hasn't had to do much. He's got a lot of help. Rousseau off the screen, still looking. Will put up a jumper from the foul line. Count it, and he's fouled. (20-4) run for UAV right now. And the lead is 18 once again with a chance to get it to 19. Rousseau now with 5, a chance to get to 6. And Kevin Pham having a discussion with the official on the near side about, I think, something off the moving screen, I would say. As here's Westlake. Second unit on the floor for Merced. Pioneers get a trio up off the bench of starters as they'll check in on the next whistle. Here's Wynn, drops it for Cobb. Cobb wants to find space, thought he had it.
Yeah.
Good closeout from Austin. Now Westlake into the paint, and he's fouled by Alex Austin. And it'll send Westlake to the line for 1-1.
Yeah, risky for Cobb to pick up his dribble like that, but I like the spark that Westlake can bring to UC Merced off the bench. He's instant offense.
Only had 3 points on Friday against Cal State Maritime, and he's been quiet as of late. He's I think he's been nursing an injury to the right hand.
He definitely is, yes.
You can see some tape on his pinky finger, and early in the week I saw a lot of heavy tape on that right hand.
See how he does at the line here.
In warm-ups today, we watched him exclusively, and he looked pretty good from distance. So he takes the first. No shot, and it's a violation against Merced, so that wipes out the free throw. That's a big mistake.
That really is. With 10:47 to go, you could point to that as being one of the biggest ones they may have in this game. A chance to get into double digits with the clock stopped. And a lane violation thwarts it.
Here's Rousseau, just speeds around everybody. He stepped on the baseline. I think Rousseau goes over to David Allegra and says, "Did he push me out?" And David said, "No."
It's good help defense that time from Merced. Way to wall him off. Keep the feet moving. Don't plant, don't try to reach. Just stay on your toes, stay moving.
Well, I think you have to do that. You can't let him get his, especially with everybody else in the UAV roster shooting the lights out of the gym right now. So here's Cottrell back into the game. Bounce pass over to Durr. Durr working against Rousseau. Now Mast right there with him. Pioneers a little disconnected. Cottrell tries to drive, kicks back. Haywood, 3 from the corner, too strong. Rousseau goes way up, but had it stolen by Westlake after he pulled down the rebound. And then an offensive foul called against Obiura as Mast, just outside the restricted area, draws another one.
Junkyard dog, Mast.
He's certainly not afraid of contact on the inside.
Especially taking on a big fella like Obiura like that.
That's really what him and Kane Kyle like to do on the inside for UAV. That's why they're in there together. And that's why UAV can go with that small lineup to start. So it's a 19-point advantage, and we're 3 seconds from halfway through the first half. UAV red hot here early on. Cabrera over to Johnson. Johnson will put up a 3. No. Westlake able to box out Cabrera and comes down with the rebound. He'll run it ahead, speeds right to the basket, kicks it back to Haywood, and an offensive foul called on Westlake. Guess who draws it again? Jacob Mast.
That was not an instant replay. We are still with you live here.
We don't have replay on the broadcast today. And that's the 6th foul on Merced, so quick fouls, and all of a sudden both teams are in the bonus.
2 of them offensively.
So it's been nearly a perfect first half for UAV. 10 of 12 from the floor. 10 of 13 as the numbers switch. 5 of 7 from 3. Merced just shooting 3 of 13 here early on. And 0 for 4 from downtown. Here's Kyle spins, and Kyle's called for an offensive foul as Cottrell able to sell that one.
Well, we're just trading offensive fouls at the moment now.
You look, we talked about fouls per game on UAV, 21.9. Here at the Peck, during the season, opponents fouling 20 times during a game. So we get a lot of fouls here at the Peck generally, so this is not a surprise.
The fouls, and maybe that's a product of the opponents of UAV getting caught playing at their pace a little bit.
I think so, and UAV doesn't mind taking many fouls as Cottrell has an open look for 3, and he got it. Good shot from Cottrell, and that's what Merced needs to try and get back in this one.
They really needed that. He's their leading scorer. Have to have your best step up here in a game like this.
So 16-0 run for UAV. It pushed it to 19. Oh, Rousseau right with Durr in his face, knocks it down, and you can get it back to 19.
Rousseau senses those moments when he can sense the opponent gathering a little momentum, or when he needs to answer to something an opponent just did. He seems like he always rises to that occasion.
So here's Westlake drives, kicks back. Obiura into the paint. Good move around. Mass went up with the left hand, didn't get it to go.
Even Idenchuku can't get a break. All these rim rollers for Merced here this evening.
They want to double Rousseau. He's able to get it to Holden. Holden penetrates. Kicks it over Mast. Wanted a 3, had an open look. Instead, we'll hold on here. Inside to Holden. Holden with 9 to shoot, backing down. Gets it to Johnson. 3-pointer from the wing. Too strong. Cottrell able to get the rebound. Good box out from Haywood to help.
Yeah, nice rebound from Cottrell. He played football his senior year. Talked about using his body was what he learned from it.
Really athletic move from Ryan Haywood to go to the basket, and that time gets the roll.
They need that. They need the big guards to dribble drive, and everything will create from there.
Johnson catches at the block, spins to the baseline with the left hand, good, and the foul on Westlake.
Westlake was expecting help from the weak side there, so he sort of went around him, thinking the help was coming on the other end, but a nice move to get back inside there for Johnson. Looks like our official wants to clean up some trash talk.
Yeah, Johnson kind of flexed after the bucket, and I think the officials want to make sure that doesn't happen. Johnson to the line, chance to make it an even 30 here. Chris, a 68% free throw shooter. Cobb coming back in to take over for Westlake, who has 2 fouls. .7:43 to go here in the first half. Johnson at the foul line. As Johnson makes it, it's a 20-point lead. 33-13 in favor of the Pioneers. 7:40 to go here in the first half. Haywood slows it down. And I think that's kind of what Kevin Pham wants now. You're trailing by 20. You got to do anything to keep the ball out of UAV's hands.
Right, that was the game plan coming in, like a team taking on Peyton Manning's Colts in his heyday, try to keep the ball away from him.
Haywood drives, Moskaitis challenges, and he gets it around him and in. Back-to-back buckets for Haywood on 2 really athletic plays from the young man.
Yeah, still kind of a deliberate offense, but it's all about him driving and carrying this team right now. They go as he goes.
Moskaitis called for an offensive foul. Good job by Idenchuku to draw it. And it's another turnover on UAV on the offensive foul. That's their 9th, so the next one will put Merced at the line for 2, and we have 7 minutes to go.
They need that.
And you said it often on the broadcasts on Saturday night, the more times you can score with the clock off, the better.
When you're down like this against UAV, got to create those opportunities and execute on them. If this team's going to foul a lot, got to capitalize.
Haywood drives, throws it up high. Wow, that time he got the bounce. 3 straight for Haywood. And a little mini run here for Merced.
Haywood taking over. He's their backbone, and he's got to strengthen this team around him right now.
It's back down to 16 at the moment. Holden to Johnson. Johnson, step back jumper from about 18, no. An offensive foul on Holden as he got tied up underneath the basket by Haywood. Second on Holden here, so actually the first on Holden, the board switches. So UAV finding themselves, no surprise, in foul trouble. That's already the 10th foul on the Pioneers. 17 fouls in this first half as a total. And it'll send Haywood to the line.
78% free throw shooter.
So he misses on the first. And again, that's a guy that you can't have missed shooting 78%.
No, not in this situation, this deficit. Clock stopped, the chance to score.
Gets the second one to go. Subs checking in. And it's Durr in for Cottrell here. UAV 6-0 all-time against the Bobcats here at the PAC, and 10-1 all-time against Merced. So trailing already by a handful, by 15 in a place you have not won ever.
Right. It's crazy. It's a game of matchups.
Smashed three, no, too strong, off the back iron. Haywood with the rebound, and here's what Merced can kind of get themselves back into it. If Haywood could maybe get another one to fall down. Instead, he just kind of almost threw it away. Adenchku able to recover. He kind of works into the paint. Wants to back down Alex Austin. Spins, still spins, throws it up. Didn't get it to go. Rousseau able to pull down the board. Pioneers with a 5-on-3 back the other way. Gonzalez been red hot here, Tim, in this first half. And Simpson. You see Merced trying to climb back in it. Now 7 for 19 from the floor, 36%.
Still need to try to climb back in it their way. Run the half-court set. It's been Haywood driving to the basket because, I don't quote Charles Barkley often, but one time when he talked about the Golden State Warriors and teams trying to play at the Warriors' pace, being like an old car trying to go fast that isn't built for that, and it starts shaking around.
It's perfect. That's a perfect
UC
analogy.
Merced has to not be that old car trying to go too fast and shake around. Still got to play their way.
You mean I shouldn't drive my Ford Focus at 95 miles an hour on the freeway down to Los Angeles? Oh, okay.
That is a no.
As here's Cobb. Had an open look, instead got it to Durr. Durr, step back jumper from the foul line was short. Good contest by Rousseau.
Yeah. Durr passed up an open three there too, stepped in. When you think about it too much, it just creates problems in your shot.
And I think they're in their own head. 1 of 5 from 3 here early on. UAV shooting 7 of 11 from three-point early. And so you kind of know we can't miss these because if we do, they'll go back down to the other side and hit it. So here's Austin. Over to Mast. Now to Holden, who will back it out with 8. Holden on a little isolation, work off the screen. Into the paint. Jumper high off the glass is good. Good shot from Kamel Holden.
Like the way he probed the defense, dribbled his way through traffic, didn't force the issue, found the opening and took it.
He's very calm when he comes into the paint. As Rousseau gets a steal on a throwaway, throws it ahead to Austin. He wanted to jam it, and instead he lost it, but it went right in the basket. And when it goes well, it goes well.
It goes well, yeah. He was a little too far under the hoop, lost it as he went up close enough to just push it in.
So it's 40-18, and UAV running away with this one early on. It's a 22-point advantage for the Pioneers. They come out of the timeout on a quick little 6-0 run. Three-pointer on the way from Cobb. No. Durr able to get the rebound. Wynn will drive, goes to the basket, and he got the roll. They wanted an and one.
Yeah.
Just didn't get the call.
Wynn, he can save these Bobcats. Not many buckets, but they tend to come at the right time.
So here's Rousseau working off the screen now. We'll slow it down. Now he works off another screen. Probes the defense, kicks it back. Extra pass. Gonzalez, 3 from the corner, no. Long rebound picked up by Durr. Durr had it knocked away by Mast. Haywood picked it up, gets it to Wynn. Corner 3 on the way, no. And the board ripped down by Holden. Holden 2 points, 4 rebounds, now make it 5. Rousseau and Kyle leading the way with 9 for UAV. Haywood with 7 leading the way for Merced here. 3:15 to go in the first half. Holden to Mast at the near block. Spins, dumps, Austin with the... .305 to go, 22-point lead for UAV here in the first half. As they have been red hot, 6 of 23 from the floor here early on. And the even bigger number, 7 of 12 from 3, shooting 58% from downtown.
Merced's got to stay patient.
Westlake tries to drive. Haywood now gets it to Cottrell, passed up another open 3. Stead drives, extra pass, Williams three-pointer, no, it's short. And there's that kind of in their own head thing.
I get passing up a good shot for a great shot, but I think he had a great shot and just hesitated.
Rousseau slows it down. They get it to Gonzalez to run the point here. Tevin Polk up off the bench for UAV. He'll check in on the next whistle. Here's Rousseau, who's pretty much been in there the whole way. Runs into Adenchiku. Will throw it over to Mast. Inside, Moskaitis at the block with 4 right-hand hook on a baby hook. Gets it to go. Moskaitis having a good little first half. He's now got 4 and is 2 for 2 from the floor. And both have come within inside 3 feet.
Where he excels.
Haywood, dribble drive into the paint. Wanted to try and draw the foul, threw up a wild shot, didn't get it. Rousseau the other way with speed, into the paint. 2 big steps, high off the glass. Wow, how did that go?
Officials letting him play now at this stage on these dribble drives.
26 the lead now for UAV. Adenchiku working against Moskaitis, wants to take him off the dribble. Good help defense from Cabrera. Haywood has an open look at 3, too strong.
Yeah, had a fumble with receiving the pass there a little bit to gather it in. Threw his rhythm off.
Gonzalez with the basketball. Mast wants to penetrate, dumps it off. Moskaitis, oh boy, halfway down didn't go, and then it goes out off of Merced.
The scorekeeper had the button halfway down, ready to push that
I almost had it written down on my sheet here.
Again, within 3 feet.
That's really where, again, Davi makes his money.
Yep.
26 the lead. Rousseau going to get a rest for the final minute 16. Haywood and Adenchiku both getting rest as well. Sola into the game for the first time. He and Polk both in there. So the bench emptying already early on for UAV. Deep 3 from Gonzalez. No, Polk pulls down the offensive board, threw up a wild shot. I think he had plenty of time and just kind of fell over.
Big collision there. Put the shoulder in, did Polk. We saw UAV maybe empty the bench a little too early against Simpson, so we had to, Coach Mass pulled them back, put some starters back in. This is probably a good time to steal a minute plus before the half, though. Good chance to get some breather in.
And Rousseau right back at the table after the Polk foul, and Coach Mass said, "Go back. You're sorry, you only got 16 seconds." But Ronnie's the kind of guy, he'll play 40 minutes a game if you let him.
Oh, absolutely.
Averages 30 on the year. Played in 26 of UAV's games this season, missed the first 4.
Again, a missed free throw for the Bobcats. They're going to have to try to apply a little pressure now.
So here's Rousseau with the basketball. 45 seconds to go in the first half. Both Gonzalez and Moskaitis out setting screens. Now here's Gonzalez with 6. Wanted to penetrate. Has to do something with it. Gets it to Rousseau. Threw up a floater that was blocked and a shot clock violation on UAV. But I think if you're Coach Mast, you take it. You wasted a good 20 seconds.
Absolutely. Even outside of the Obiura swat there to deflection, nonetheless did milk a lot of shot clock off.
As we're inside of 20 now to go here in the first half. 26-point UAV lead. Derda Westlake. Westlake, who hasn't taken a field goal yet today and missed the only free throw he took. Actually didn't even get to take it, I think. As Moskaitis with a block. Ball loose on the floor. Westlake corner 3. Got it before the buzzer. Good shot from Westlake on his first field goal attempt. And gets it back to 23, but I mean, that's an 11th ranked at the time in Division I. So they've won 20 straight conference games, including playoffs, and right now are in the driver's seat for their 21st and would run the table fully in the CalPAC if they can do so.
For UC Merced, they just got to not hang their heads. You think about how far you've come, the season you've had, and the opportunity this is. Hey, we're playing in a conference championship tournament game. Let's enjoy it. Let's play the game of basketball. See if they can at least chip away at this. They got to feel like, they got to play like this game's tied. Regardless of what the score is, they got to play it like it's tied.
And it's a rematch of 2017-2018 when these two teams played. So they definitely have that on their mind a little bit as well. So something Kevin Pham talked about as Kyle misses the three. Doesn't start the second half off the way he starts the first. And instead, Merced gets a bucket on the other side.
Oh, and a big tumble the other way for Kyle into the seats there.
You run over the... Oh.
Took out the mop operator, I think, even.
Lexia Budd underneath the basket.
Yeah, former women's player.
Good early play from Haywood to find, Durr to find Cottrell driving to the basket.
Yeah, sweet bounce pass.
And it's just the second bucket of the day for Cottrell. So it's a 21-point lead, Pioneers. And a travel going to be called on Holden. He knocked down the three, but he took a little shuffle step, slid his feet.
Yeah, maybe watched a little too much James Harden.
Which James Harden doesn't get called for that. So, yeah, no. And so the Pioneers 0 for 2 on their first two possessions here in the second half. Here's Cottrell. He needs to really get going to try and get Merced back into this one. And there's no reason they can't.
Right, see if they try to get everything going with a Haywood dribble drive again.
And he's fouled out high by Kane Kyle.
But there it was. It's like, okay, that's what worked. Let's try driving with Haywood and see what comes off of it, even if he doesn't get the bucket.
Third foul on Kyle here in the second. Here's Cottrell, slipped into the paint, penetrates. Williams three-pointer. He's fouled, and he counted. Knocked it down, fouled by Kyle. Two quick fouls on Kane Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle gave him a high five on the left hand after he released that. Gets the and one.
So it's a 5-0 run to open here in the first minute of the second half. Lead is inside of 20 for the first time in a while. Remember, UAV had closed the first half on a 22-5 run. And so 5-0 run here from Merced, starting to inch their way back into it.
Holden, we mentioned he had buzzer beaters at the half against UC Merced. That sort of carried over into the next half. We'll see if Westlake's is having that same effect.
I was just thinking that same thing. Westlake with that late buzzer beater three kind of gets Merced some momentum going into the locker room. Rousseau will back it out. 46-29 the lead. 17 points the advantage. Johnson, three from the wing, no. Durr, skies for the board.
I like the pace Merced is playing with while still playing their style.
Here's Haywood for a three from the corner, didn't go. Austin able to pull down the board. Good athletic rebound from Alex Austin.
Merced just looks determined, aggressive.
As Rousseau dumps it off. Offensive foul called against Ronnie Rousseau. It's Williams that draws it. Third foul of the second half on UAV here.
Merced's got to take advantage of the fact that they have a lot of different guys who can defend dribble penetration.
And that was something Kevin Pham touched on as well, that he likes his wings, he likes his guards, and they can defend well. As there's Haywood. Kicks back, Cottrell, three, and he got it.
In rhythm, confident, determined, quick. This UC Merced team does not look like the same indecisive bunch from the first half.
9-0 run here in the second half. Holden gets it to Rousseau. Merced fired up. As Rousseau is fouled by Durr and then went tumbling down to the floor.
Nice job by Durr to help him up.
UAV is on their heels here a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. And that we've seen that from both sides. Everybody very good on the sportsmanship right now. As I think there's a cheer from some of the women's players that are not on the road with the team. As here's Austin, three! Boy, back up once again, send him to a second overtime. Otherwise, UAV going to pick up their third conference tournament championship on the women's side.
Embry-Riddle putting up a fight.
The second year in a row. Last year they dueled here at the PEC in a great game. And UAV came out with the win and trying to do the same this time in Prescott. As we come back to this one, Merced has made it interesting. It's a 17-point lead, but that 9-0 run to open here has gotten it back a little closer.
And more importantly, even has changed their confidence and their attitude.
Absolutely, looked like a completely different team. As here's Obiora, went to the basket, was contested by Merced and couldn't get it to roll.
Yeah, he's had a tough time finishing from point-blank range this evening.
Pioneers back the other way, getting to their half-court set. Holden just takes his time, spins, falls down, threw it back to Merced, who can get it back to Rousseau. Plenty of time for UAV to operate here. Rousseau off the screen, high off the glass. No, Austin just went up way too high. Durr able to knock it back beyond half court. Johnson took it away, and Pioneers try and slow down, and then a foul on Durr as he got tied up with Holden and immediately checks on him.
Well, it could have been a big opportunity for Merced, but great recovery defense from the Pioneers.
And it was a little sloppy on both sides. UAV, Austin went up and went up too fast, and the ball bounced off of him. Durr looked like he was on a fast break and just kind of lost it a little bit, and allowed Chris Johnson to take it away.
Got out a little bit ahead of himself.
So UAV with a reset here. Gonzalez throws it over to Austin on the wing. Drives into the paint, throws it up with the right hand, no. Mass fights for the offensive board, but eventually Obiora comes down with it. Here's Cottrell. Now Durr. Final from Prescott. UAV 86. Embry-Riddle 84, so the Pioneers complete the three-peat. As Durr with a three, and he got it.
Finally got one to fall for him.
First bucket of the day for Rafael Durr. And it's a 14-point game. Rousseau trying to take over, goes high off the glass. Good contest from Haywood, and he didn't get it to go.
That was Rousseau sensing one of those moments again where he needed to answer. Great drive, just couldn't get it to fall.
And a block called against a different team here, Tim. Much more confidence, much more pace on the offensive side.
Yeah, and it's a shame it took being down like this at the half for that to come out of them instead of starting with that determination, that confidence. But I think they wanted to try to play their usual sort of mellow, grinded-out pace. They've had to pick it up a little bit, but there's a difference between pace and intensity. You know, they seem like they're more focused, more ready for the second half than they were the game to begin.
Absolutely. So here's Cottrell with the basketball. It's like a tale of two teams at this point. So this was more the team we expected. They throw it into Obiora. Wants to drive baseline. Had to try and get it to Cottrell, and Johnson poked it out of play.
Yeah, good late recovery there from Mass to cut off Obiora quite well.
Moskaitis in the game for the Pioneers. Cottrell to inbound. Throw it up high to Durr. Williams, who had a big three a few moments ago, he tries to drive. Mass blocks him, and it'll leave Merced just three to shoot. Holden going to come in. Holden going to take over for Mass, who just made a good defensive play. But they want to get a little more athleticism in there with Holden.
Yeah, they're going to have to, Merced, try some sort of catch and shoot here with 3 on the shot clock.
So they get it into Cottrell, but there's an offensive foul on Obiora. Knocks down Chris Johnson.
Could have cut it to 12 there.
And we'll see Adenshiku come back in, as that's the third on Obiora. Both of them fouled out on Saturday. So it's something to keep an eye on as the game continues on, as those are their only two bigs, really, other than Batmani.
Right, yep.
So here's Rousseau. On the double team, we'll send it over to Gonzalez. Now to Johnson, wants to penetrate. Stops it up. Is UAV going to take a little bit more time? Here's Rousseau. Now to Holden. Holden wanted to look. Now he starts to try and penetrate with 4 to shoot. Throws it high off the glass. Missed everything. Haywood brings it down. Throws it ahead to Durr. Durr into the corner. Williams back to Durr. They slow it down. Here's Cottrell. 3 was blocked. Blocked by Holden. Out of play off UAV. Good recovery from Holden on the block.
That was a mistake by Williams to fast break for the 3 in the corner that time instead of going to the bucket. That's just too easy of an angle there for UAV to recover to.
So here's Haywood. Takes his time.
Himself, yep.
Threw it to Williams. Williams goes up against Moskaitis. Score it and the foul. And you cut it to 12, chance to get it to 11.
Yep. Again, another aggressive take, no second guessing. I'm going to drive, I'm going to be under control, and still drive to the basket and get a foul rather than create one.
Third foul on Moskaitis now. Williams to shoot one. Merced has backed just about everybody off except for Haywood here. With Williams at the line, he shoots 70%. Makes it, and all of a sudden it's back to an 11-point game.
Now Merced thinks they can do this, thinks they have a shot at this. Will UAV let this kind of be the wake-up point?
It's a 15-3 run to open up the second half for Merced. Johnson drives, went up with the left hand, didn't get it to go. Another good contest from Merced, and the defense has really picked it up for the Bobcats here.
Yeah, mainly Cottrell contesting there, a little help from Idenchukwu, and here they come the other way.
Idenchukwu will throw it back. Haywood will catch between the circles. Wants to get it to somebody else. Yeah. Now we'll have to put it on the floor. Throws it over Cottrell. Jumper from the foul line, and he's fouled by Rousseau on the closeout late.
That's a good job by Cottrell to contort his body and kind of create that foul, and now a tech on UAV.
As the Pioneers had a couple of coaches up off the bench.
Quick trigger from our official
absolutely.
On the text and the warnings.
David Anganis, the one that gives the technical foul.
So they've called it on an assistant rather than Coach Mast.
Yeah, so it's two assistants were up off the bench. Coach Mast has been hollering from just in front of the table the whole time here. So it's going to be 4 shots for an 11-point game. You get back to 7 here with Cottrell at the line, who makes the first. And it'll be, I think, Williams at the line for the second right? So Cottrell misses, splits him. That's big.
Yeah.
Stays a 10-point game.
Had a chance to cut it to singles. Now let's see if those were the techs. So they chose Cottrell for the technicals as well.
He wasn't. Was he the shooter?
He was the shooter.
Yes, he was. I couldn't remember who the shooter was.
Coach Mast felt he flopped and should have gotten. Feels they haven't gotten that call at the other end. I thought Cottrell did a good job, Reggie Miller style, kind of contorting and selling.
So he makes that one. It's back to 9. Can get it to 8 here.
First time we have had a single-digit game since very early on.
Way back early in the first half. Cottrell makes them bowl. It's an 8-point basketball game, and there's 13:43 to go. This one not over.
Nope, it just got interesting. Perfect timing as the women's game wraps up to this now.
Exactly. Merced wants to trap here. Gonzalez is fouled. Yeah, they call a cylinder foul.
Similar to the one that I believe Mass had called on him.
Another thing with that technical foul, it puts Merced in the bonus here, and we're not even halfway through this second half.
Quick breather for Cottrell.
Yeah, he comes right back on. He's been hot here in the second half. 13 points now, 3 of 5 from the floor as he's starting to pick it up, and they shut down Ronnie Rousseau here. And they're going to take 2 more seconds off the clock and inbound it back in again. I don't think the ball was in for 4 seconds, but okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was even before the inbound.
So here's Mass, gets it to Holden at the elbow. Over to Johnson. Pioneer offense just looks completely out of sync right now. Now Holden with 2, has to put up a deep 3. Didn't get it to go. Mast able to tip the rebound to Johnson. He's fouled underneath the basket as Williams backed up into it.
Oh, that worked out well, Mast, able to swat it over to a teammate.
5th foul on Merced here. So we'll send Johnson to the line. Johnson shoots 68% from the line on the year. Made his only free throw of the game so far. Makes that one, knocks it down. So can start to climb back away if you're UAV. You can get this back to a double-digit lead. It's a 9-point game right now, 50-41. 13:08 to go here in the second half. Johnson gets the second one to roll. Was a little short, but bounced in. Home-friendly rim bounce. It's back to a 10-point game.
I like that press break.
Good job getting up ahead quickly. And now they take their time into their half-court set.
Yeah, give yourself more time on this side of the floor.
And that's something that teams don't do against UAV often. They get themselves caught in that trap.
Yeah, they try to pick their way through, take their time.
Good contest from Johnson. And now a player delay called on Johnson by David Allegra. And so we'll go back to work here. That was interesting. It was a good contest from Johnson to make sure that Edenshaku couldn't get a clean shot away. So here's Rousseau, and a block going to be called against Williams. 6th foul on Merced. And we're going to get Obiura back into the game.
So UC Merced briefly got it into single digits. Now we've seen UAV wake up a bit since that point.
And after putting up 46 in the first half, the Pioneers with just 5 points here in the second.
Yeah, almost 8 minutes in.
Here's Gonzalez to Rousseau. Jab step, 3. No. Good closeout late from Haywood. Westlake had it knocked away by Johnson. Rousseau then just lost it off of his knee. He wanted to go with a Euro step, knew he had Westlake there, and it's a turnover after a turnover.
Yeah, that was a bit of a lazy pass there from Westlake, and a lucky bounce, though, as it goes off of Rousseau. Right to former women's point guard Samantha Earl.
There you go, standing right there, waiting for it. She was going to go to the rack with it.
Oh, yeah.
12:03 to go. Haywood will throw it to Durr on the near side as they break the press. First time really today UAV has been in that press. Westlake stepped on the sideline, out of bounds, another turnover. UAV gets the basketball back.
It's a danger of that skip pass trying to get all the way across the UAV defense into that tight corner.
As now Merced in a trap of their own. As now Holden will work with the basketball. To Rousseau, who's been quiet here in the second half. Works off the screen, wants to drive. Goes up with the left hand high off the glass, draws a foul, and will go to the line. Blocking foul called against Durr.
Yeah, that must be on Durr, because I thought Obiora played it pretty cleanly.
I think Durr had just his left foot inside the restricted area.
And that foul on Durr makes a little more sense there.
That's the 4th on Durr. That's going to hurt for Merced. It's going to bring Williams back in. Both teams in the bonus, so both teams shooting the rest of the way now.
Yeah, UAV is caught up in that quickly in this bonus shooting situation.
Rousseau knocks down the first. Important free throws coming here for Ronnie Rousseau, who shoots 85% from the line this year. 13th in the country in field goal percentage, so you expect 2 points on the board just about every time down. 8.5 out of 10 times. Makes them both. Back to a 12-point lead. UAV in that trap again. Merced breaks it. Cottrell throws near side. Bounce pass into the corner. Westlake, step back three on the way. Good shot from Westlake. Back to a 9-point game.
Yeah, I like the look there from Westlake. The fake, then the jab, and then step back and hit it.
So here's Johnson. Dribbles out of some trouble. Rousseau. Guarded by Haywood. Now Holden as the Pioneers taking their time, using the full shot clock. Mass goes baseline against Contrell. Into the corner to Johnson. Johnson with 6 will put up a long 2. No. Holden skies for the board. Gonzalez, 3! He knocks it down.
Big offensive rebound there to get a fresh shot clock from Holden. He just has these clutch moments. Maybe it's not in points. There's just always something he does that shapes a game.
He is that spark plug on the offensive side for UAV, especially on the glass. As they get a steal, Johnson with the tip. Rousseau the other way. Goes high to the air and skips it off the glass and in. And a quick 4-0 run for UAV, 5-0 run has pushed it back to 12.
It's been Merced turnovers, trying some dangerous cross-court passes. It has gotten them in trouble and back down by double digits.
Haywood just pros the defense, gets it inside. Obiura off the glass, no. Mast able to fight for the rebound. The Pioneers come down. Back to a 14-point lead for UAV, 60-44. Sorry, math, 16-point lead.
Yep.
Thank you. It's so terrible. That is just so bad.
Don't worry about it. Those points rack up quickly because UAV,
I get lost.
They got back in this so quickly, or back to this double-digit lead so quickly. That was a wake-up call, getting to single digits.
As they've extended the lead just a bit here. Halfway home in this second half. 3/4 of the way home in the basketball game. Obiura wants to work against Mass. Holden there to help. They get it inside. Haywood now goes up against Holden. Didn't get it to go. Punched out by Mass. Pioneers want to run the floor. Gonzalez. Rousseau. 3! Yes, sir!
The defense for UAV just helps so quickly. You think you have a lane and it's gone. The window evaporates fast. And then they strike it the other way with the Conference Player of the Year.
Haywood fell down. Don't look now. Rousseau got 20 now. And I think he's hit the last 3 buckets. As Cottrell fouled on a 3. And he knocks it down. Good answer from Jonah Cottrell.
They need the big gun to step up right there.
Cottrell now is 16. 3 of 4 from 3. And he'll go to the line. Trying for 4 points here. Can get it back to 15 after that 3. It's a good answer.
Yeah, another opportunity at a 4-point play for him.
Knocks it down. 63-48 here. Pioneers need to get across the timeline. They do. Johnson. Kyle, corner, 3, and he hit it. He continues to stay hot.
Happened so quickly.
As here's Durr back into the game with 4 fouls. Stops and pops from the elbow short. Nearly hit Johnson in the face on the rebound. He comes down with it. And here comes UAV again. In transition, they slow it up.
Durr not having the night he had Saturday where he couldn't miss. Tonight can't hit.
Last time out against UAV had 11 points. Extra pass to find Rousseau. Throws it inside. Austin got blocked by Obiura. Got it back, threw it up with the right hand. The scoop goes. And then a whistle for a foul on Kyle and on Williams.
What a surprise. A technical foul. It can be over officious at times. And I think, it's one thing if you felt like things were getting a little too snippy. Physically dangerous.
And so
words are one thing.
That's the 5th foul on Kane Kyle. Which would mean he's out of the basketball game, shooting 4 of 6 from 3. So Kyle is done. End his night with 12 points. The Flying Kiwi going to take a seat. And that's important because he has been red hot from downtown.
Yeah, certainly has. UAV, you think, okay, they got plenty of weapons, bring another one in. Still 8+ minutes, though. If Merced were to fire up the engines one more time and manage to trim this down to single digits again, not having him would play a factor for sure.
Absolutely. There's a lot of hollering from the UAV sideline to the far sideline right now, but we go back to work. Here's Durr. Westlake deep, 3 early, no. Gonzalez with an uncontested rebound. That's an interesting shot from Westlake early.
Yeah, I'm not too mad at it being down 20 with the 8 minutes. I'd like for him to step in, maybe catch it a little more rhythm to it versus being that deep.
Yeah, and just a few moments ago it was a 9-point lead, so that's how quickly UAV can strike. Blocking foul called against Cottrell. He thought he drew the offensive foul. The referee, David Allegra, says he slid his feet just a touch. And that will send Mass to the line for 1-1. As we go back to work here, Mast with a 20-point lead for the Pioneers, 7:51 to go. Just the first foul on Cottrell. Makes the first of the 1-1. Mast from the line this year, just 58%, but again, UAV just red hot from just about everywhere it seems like at times. They cooled off a little bit to start the half, but 8 of 8 from the line so far today. 8 of 9 as the broadcaster jinx comes into effect.
No. Don't put any faith in that. That's just all Jordan Mass.
I know. I make that joke occasionally because I don't believe in it. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So here's Adenchiku into the corner. Durr, who has been ice cold, didn't get it to go. Adenchiku couldn't get the finish, but the foul going to be called against Alex Austin, and Austin puts a finger in the ear and says, "Yeah, I fouled him."
Yeah.
And I think it's a good foul. It doesn't allow an easy
agreed.
bucket.
Yeah. You know, you may say, well, maybe it's best that they would have had a loss to get that out of the way, but if they're playing like this right now, you know, that's the only concern is that a team, as Inuchuku misses the first, a team maybe that had such a great regular season wouldn't be playing their best ball come postseason. But that doesn't seem to be the case for UAV.
It's been the opposite. I think during this 17-game winning streak, we've not seen the best UAV team that we've now seen on Saturday and for the first half and the last 4 minutes of this second half here today. And I think that's what the scary thing is for other teams looking at this team. You don't know what you're going to get coming into the next game.
Yeah, the offense can come from anywhere. You know about Rousseau, but there's so many other options you have to deal with.
Rousseau throws it to Austin, who's beyond the three-point line. We'll swing it over to Holden. Holden going against Williams, spins into the paint, throws it up with the right hand. No. Austin able to fight and come down with the rebound. Threw it to Johnson, three-pointer short. Rebound bounces. Mass diving. It goes off of Durr and out of play. It's UAV basketball.
Yeah, it's still going to stick with the Pioneers.
Check on Mast. Durr was up right away. And Mast going to check off. They get Moskaitis back in.
We've definitely seen UAV dial back up the effort, the focus. I mean, that attempt at that rebound, charging in through the baseline, through traffic for Austin, a good example.
And same thing on the last one with Mast and Austin both there, and Mast diving to the floor. And that's, you know, we see it in pregame, and people laugh at it sometimes, that play that they make. They go with one guy at the end of pregame warm-ups, and he's taking an offensive foul. He's diving across the floor for a loose ball. But the old adage, you practice like you play.
Amen.
And that's exactly what Coach Mass preaches to his side, and that's what they've seen here, the hustle back through.
You got to get a guy used to diving on the floor like that to have him want to do it in a game.
20-point lead for UAV. As Kevin Pham surveys the defense from our left here. had his team back into it as UAV with a turnover. They just threw it on a play. Bad pass from Johnson.
Yeah, unforced error. These are some of the things that as you get into the higher levels of competition in a national tournament, that Coach Mast will have to drive home. There's at least things for him to still coach, show on the film that if they want to be a national champion, that they're going to have to clean up.
Here's Durr, drives, baseline, throws it out high. Haywood, rhythm 3, was way off. Missed it the whole way to the left.
It's another situation where he caught it strangely and then tried to go straight up. He had caught it around his belly, couldn't quite gather and fire, rushed it a notch.
It's been 5 or 6 of those for him today, and for Durr as well. Merced just hasn't been able to get into that rhythm from 3. Just 7 of 19 from 3 today. Holden with 9 to shoot in isolation against Haywood. Now calls up for a screen. Works now against Cottrell. Still trying to work. Splits the defenders. Goes high with the scoop and score. Scored and the foul. Super athletic play from Kamel Holden. And he's got a chance for the 3-point play.
Again, patient, probing. That's his game. Doesn't force anything. Real smart play.
Back inside the pack, 6:11 to go. 23-point lead for the Pioneers. Matt Robinson, Tim Fitzgerald here with you. We'll look at the Merced bench here. Kevin Pham, what do you do right now, trailing by 23? You had it back down to 9, and all of a sudden UAV on a run again, and you're way down again.
You try to find that magic again. You try to restart the fire. You try to light your team up, get that head hang back up, keep those chins back up, because mentally it was that. It was the pace, the intensity, the focus, the lack of hesitancy, some aggressiveness, controlled aggressiveness. Got to try to get that back, sort of wipe away any discouraged feeling they have to back to playing the game tied mentally. With the 6:11 to go, he's got to tell his team, hey, there is enough time to make this a game again, and then we'll attack from there, reevaluate from there.
I mean, you look, they had a bad first half, not a horrible first half, but just you're going against the UAV offense, which was excellent, and an offensive foul called against Jonah Cottrell. And then a great 7 minutes in that start of the second half to get it back to a tight game, and then it's that switch that UAV turned on.
When it got to single digits, yes, UAV definitely flipped that switch.
And I think if you're Kevin Pham, you know you've kind of left a little bit on the table. If you had that game from that first 7 minutes of the second half, we're at a different spot here.
Holden, if you could have spread that out throughout the contest,
Holden working against Haywood. Now against Cottrell, spins into the paint, was blocked. Moskaitis comes down with it. He's fouled, will go to the line. Foul going to be on Haywood. Haywood looked like he was lost against Holden on that whole sequence.
And that's part of that patience, the probing. He's sort of analyzing what you're doing as Holden and finds the tiny little space.
And when you have him and Ronnie Rousseau that play both very different styles, working very well, Moskaitis knocks down the first.
There's enough similarity for chemistry and pairing to both being a ball handler, but you're right, enough difference that each adds something.
And it's crazy. Holden, I feel like he's been all over the score sheet, and he has. 5.7 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah.
Not a lot of points, but we talked about it, a guy that is kind of a spark plug as Moskaitis splits him.
Yeah, it's not always about points with him, but a big play, a playmaker, even if not a scorer.
Rebound we saw early in the second half is a 3 from Williams. Good shot from Williams. And maybe what Merced needs to get back into it here.
Yeah, they may have to shoot for volume a bit more from downtown at this stage.
Just 7 of 20 from 3. Compare that to 11 of 22 from UAV. They've never shot 50% of the year this year, I don't think, from 3-point. So here's Holden. Inside. Austin. Threw it through a seam right to Johnson. Now Rousseau off a screen. Working against Cottrell. Over to Holden, 3-pointer on the way, too strong. And the Pioneers come down with the rebound. Austin throws it way out high, and a reset for UAV. They can take off 20 more seconds.
Yep, another big offensive rebound.
Rousseau, shifty, had it blocked, but he was fouled. Fouled by Obiura. I think he got him in the head as he came through trying to swat it away.
Yeah, he got ball first, but I think you're right on the follow-through. Then he hits the arm.
And that's his 5th, so he fouls out for the 2nd straight game. Arenchaku will check in. And we'll go to the line with Rousseau, who's got 20 quietly again. We've always talked about it being a quiet 20 points. Quietly getting 20, not really very flashy at times, just goes on little mini runs and can get it to an even bigger advantage here for UAV.
Yeah, you and I define it differently. You like quiet as the way to define it. I call it quick. Where it happens so quickly, you're like, wait, did he? Oh my God, we're down double digits again.
If he misses, he splits one. And so it's a 22-point lead for UAV. Adenchiku into the paint, working against Moskaitis, dumped it off to Contrell. Up and under, no, but the putback flush for Adenchiku.
Let out a little anger on that rim that's been denying them all night.
Rousseau with a three, missed it the whole way. Williams with a run on a fast break back the other way. And was fouled coming from behind by Chris Johnson. That's going to be Johnson's third. It's going to send Williams to the line.
Good that he gets to the line, gets a stoppage here to try to score. Maybe could have set up an easier break there, but nonetheless stops the clock with a chance to score.
Williams 70% from the line this year. Had 11 points versus UAV back at Merced, way back on the 25th of January. And he's got 10 here today, now 11 with that one, so match that high against the Pioneers. And can get it back to 18 here. Misses, splits them. 12 of 18 now for Merced from the line.
Merced's probably going to have to take some risks here defensively along with offensively.
So here's Holden. He's one-on-one against Haywood. Crowd wants him to go. He stepped back, put up a three, and he knocked it down. And that drew a big cheer from the home crowd on the near side.
Gave them what they wanted. Killed two birds with one stone. Milked some clock, took a big shot and hit it.
You can hear him in our ear.
Yeah.
Take him, take him. Yes, here's Durr now. Wanted to penetrate, instead he'll get it back to Cottrell. Cottrell's got 18 now. We'll send it over to Adenchiku. Spinning jumper. Hung up on the rim and just didn't fall. That's the fourth time I think we've seen him today, too, with one of those.
Each starter has had that happen to them for UC Merced. Cottrell with the best luck maybe of all of them this evening dealing with that. And even it hasn't been perfect for him.
Bounce pass to Rousseau. Skips it back to Mast, over to Holden on the wing. Inside to Austin on the block, goes up with the right hand, baby hook, no. Rebound finds its way back out to Holden, and he'll put up a three, and had it too strong. And then a foul, or the ball goes out of play. Austin got knocked down hard, went right into the pipe and drape.
Yeah, UC Merced player just trying to shield him away from being able to get to the ball and ended up creating a collision.
They're going to get Austin off the floor here, I think. Now the officials are going to get together and talk about it. Well, Derek and Gaines was saying it was UAV basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
Dave
After
Allegra and Ian Caldwell both immediately came over and said no, because he wanted to reset, thought it was UAV basketball. So here goes Merced. Now Haywood dumps it off at Adenchiku. Jump stop. Good shot. Good move.
It's something, it's a good something for them to stay in this game within range at some point. Got to fire it up from downtown.
It's a 20-point lead here, 2:35 to go. We've seen a run from Merced to get it back in to single digits early in the second half, so you can never put anything away, but I think with UAV, they can just use the full shot clock the rest of the way and ice this basketball game. As Holden wanted to get it inside, turnover by the Pioneers. Haywood will throw it ahead. Cottrell needs to do something quickly here. Stops, turnaround jumper contested. A good contest by Chris Johnson, and Pioneers going to stop.
Yeah, once he lost the handle on that ball, just really took the fluidness of the attack away.
And boy, oh boy, does Rousseau just somehow find a way to get to the line over and over again.
He knows how to put the pressure on you offensively to where he's in your space, and then no matter what you do to try to defend, he's going to find a way to, even though he's somewhat initiating the contact, You're the one committing the foul, the defender.
As that's the 5th foul on senior guard Rafael Durr out of Sacramento City College, Sacramento, California. So that's his final run, most likely of his college career. Had a tough night tonight, just couldn't buy a shot. Only had 3 points today, 1 of 8 from the floor.
Had great looks, a lot of in and out rattles on the rim for the man they call Cinco, wearing that number 5 jersey.
Finishes off a pretty good career as Rousseau knocks them both down. And with 2 minutes left, it's a 22-point lead. Adenchiku, nice little move, good athletic little play. And remember, he comes back next year, just a redshirt junior. So you like to see that, and I think if you're Kevin Pham, you want to see some of your younger guys take over here a little bit, because Haywood in his final run, Williams in his final run.
Maybe give something for Chewy, a little confidence, something to look forward to next year.
And this Merced team, they return a lot of guys.
They
Cottrell,
sure do.
Cobb, Wynn, Westlake, Obiura, Adenchiku,
all
coming back next year.
A lot like that Simpson team we talked about Saturday.
Absolutely. You see those guys. Now it's just a matter of who else you can bring in. As the Pioneers going to get their seniors off the floor for the final time here at home. Holden checking out. Johnson checking out. Mass checking out. And Gonzalez checking out as Rousseau is at the line. Seniors making their final run here at the Peck. And it was a good one, 80-59 so far. 139 to go. Rousseau makes them both. He will check out for the final time, more than likely here, as he finishes the game with 24 and will lead the Pioneers into the national tournament with his 17th straight game, leading the team in points this year.
A lot of momentum. Good to be playing your best ball at this time of year for UAV.
Foul called on Yohan Sola as he's into the game. Sola, Polk, Chisholm, Cabrera, and Mosier all into the game for UAV, all the youngsters. So another chance for UAV to see these guys get a run.
Yeah, we saw the freshman from Spain have a decent run at the end of Saturday's game. Flashed some moments for us.
Haywood makes the first. Misses the second. Mosier pulls down the board. And Mosier wants to run. Throws it over to Polk. As you can't blame these guys. Been sitting on the bench for most. And an offensive foul called against Polk as he kind of threw a shoulder in.
Polk kind of bowling balls his way through traffic.
As these are all guys that could very well slot in for UAV next year. As Cottrell fouled and will go to the line. So you talk about the seniors for UAV. Rousseau, Kyle, Gonzalez, Holden, Mast, Moskaitis, Johnson, Austin. All seniors have done their job.
Yep.
They've run the table this year. 14-0 in regular season play, 16-0 overall. They're going to get their 27th win, tie a conference record.
Yep.
And likely, right now, by some bracketology from NAIA Hoops and Cascade Hoops, maybe a 3 seed in the top of the bracket. Cabrera 3, too strong. Final minute of the game. Cottrell knocks down a 3. It's 81-66 here. Chisholm throws it out of play. 49 seconds to go. And I think Merced can tighten it up just a little bit, but Cottrell deep 3, no. Rebound picked up by Merced. Haywood 3, no. Chisholm with the rebound. And it's a 15-point lead. 7-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so UAV going to dribble it out. Merced, give them credit. They got it all the way back to 9-10, but a late run from UAV once again, and the three-peat has been completed.
Yeah, that was the wake-up call for the Pioneers, was when Merced made this a game again. The Pioneers had to wake up and get back to playing their game.
There's a foul. We'll turn up the house mic a little bit, let you listen to the crowd for the final few seconds here. 6.4 to go, 83-66 in favor of UAV. And of course, right as I do that, the crowd quiets.
As Williams fouls out, yeah.
Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. Williams in his final run will check out. Masio Riddick will come in. Haywood going to come off the floor for the final time as well, as he makes his last run. Williams with a decent game finish with 10. Haywood finished with 8 as Chisholm to the line.
With UAV still somewhat new to the conference. There's always been this familiarity with the Merced squad, and a lot of these guys, I feel like they've been there for longer than even their 4 years.